We gotta go that way.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, when you pick the
Excuse me, guys.
Yeah, that's medical event. No, that's forensic. That's crime scene.
I don't know.
Oh, that's force investigating. When I look through the lens.
Ready? Ready. Good evening. Thanks for coming. I'm I'm Assistant Chief Michael Kemper. I'm the Commanding Officer of Patrol Bureau Brooklyn South. I'm joined by Deputy Chief Joseph Galata from Detective Bureau Brooklyn South, Deputy Chief Ruel Stevenson from Patrol Bureau Brooklyn South, Inspector Anthony Marino from the Force Investigation Division, and Captain Tao Chen, who's the Commanding Officer of the 6-2 Precinct. The information I'm about to give is preliminary and is subject to change as this incident just happened a couple of hours ago. But today at approximately 5 o'clock p.m., multiple 911 calls were made in regards to shots fired and a person shot at a residential location just behind me on 19th Avenue and 79th Street, which is located in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. Patrol officers from the 6-2 precinct responded and were met by a female in front of the location who told the officers that she shot someone and that person's inside the house. The patrol officers eventually gained entry into the residence and came upon 2 female victims who were shot. One female, a 24-year-old, was found lying in the living room area, and the second female, a 23-year-old, was found lying on the floor in a bedroom. It was at this time that EMS was requested to the location, and the officers began CPR efforts. Both females were removed via EMS to Maimonides Hospital. The 24-year-old was shot to her chest, possibly more than one time, and she was pronounced deceased, unfortunately, at 5:53 p.m. this afternoon. The 23-year-old was shot once to her torso, and she is expected to survive. The individual responsible for the shooting is a 31-year-old female who is a 5.5-year veteran of the NYPD. She is a police officer assigned to a Patrol Bureau Brooklyn South precinct. She is currently in our custody and is at a local hospital for an evaluation. This horrific incident is being treated as a homicide case. The motive is believed to be domestic in nature. To that, the NYPD's Force Investigation Division has the lead on this investigation, and they're being assisted by the Kings County DA's office. Questions?
Is there any truth, or can you confirm that the member of the department that went into the residence discovered her significant other in the home with this other woman?
We believe it's domestic in nature. We believe all 3 parties knew each other, meaning the MOS, the police officer, knew both parties.
Whose home is it?
This is the individual that is in the hospital shot, not likely to die. It's her residence.
And is that
Significant other.
the significant other of the member of the shooter?
Yeah, we believe they had an intimate relationship, correct.
Chief, was the cop home or inside waiting for these 2 women to come home?
So at this point in the investigation, it's a little early. We believe that the cop was inside the residence before the other 2 females came home, yes.
Trespassing? Is this just, she doesn't live
That's
here,
something to be determined.
Was her service weapon the weapon that she used in the shooting?
As far as the weapon used, I can't definitively tell you if it was a service weapon, but what I can tell you is that there is ballistic evidence recovered on the scene, which includes a firearm. It's a very good chance it is a service weapon, but I can't commit to that.
You roll up on a scene. It's a police officer who has allegedly admitted to shooting 2 people, and you find this. What is that like as a cop to find that?
Listen, the whole incident is horrible, but these cops perform great, just heroically, and this is what NYPD cops come upon every single day throughout the entire city. They're well trained, they're excellent at what they do. Is this an incident that they would want to come upon? No, but unfortunately, throughout their careers, they come upon scenes like this.
Chief, what can you tell us about the cop for 5.5 years? Any disciplinary issues?
As far as disciplinary issues, I don't see anything right now. With that said, that's going to be part of the investigation. And as the minutes and hours progress, we'll learn a little more.
Chief, when she encountered patrol outside the house, would you describe her as calm and collected, or is she riled up? How would you describe her?
I would describe her as calm and collective and very forthcoming.
You said there were multiple 911 calls. Did the officer at any point call 911?
There were 3 911 calls made in relation to this job. The question as to who the 3 callers are is what we're looking at. So I'll just leave it at that.
What were her words to the best of your recollection? How did she put it?
I'll just simply put she confessed, that's all I'm gonna say.
Chief, I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. The 24-year-old was shot. She was pronounced dead. She was the one found in the living room, and you believe it's her home.
No.
Okay.
The 23-year-old who was shot one time, who was expected to survive, it's her home, or simply put, the MOS and her, we believe, at this point, had an intimate relationship.
And
But
she was
not all
found in the
three of
bedroom.
them.
You believe
I can't answer that
You
question.
believe the 24-year-old and the officer had the relationship, and it's possible the 23-year-old who is the 23-year-old, excuse me, the 24-year-old who's deceased was not part of the relationship with the cop, may have been with this partner. Am I correct?
There's a very good chance of that, yes.
Even though she was off duty, was she scheduled to work tonight? And if not, when was she scheduled to go back?
She last worked last night on the first platoon. She got off this morning, and she was scheduled to go back to work tonight.
Can you confirm one more time? Who died? What was the relationship to the cop? And who died?
Okay. The MOS, the cop, had a relationship with a female. That female is alive. There's another female in the equation who was shot and pronounced deceased. I hope, was that clear?
Yes.
To everyone,
And you
so
believe the
understand?
23 and the 24-year-old may have been having something on the side that the officer was not aware of?
That's a possibility, and that's something that we're going to look into as this investigation moves forward, yes.
What is the officer's name and possible charges?
We're not going to release the name right now. As the hours progress, DCPI will release that to you.
But
How many shots?
Suffice to say, the officer you'll be charging she's confessed to a homicide.
Yeah, like I think I said in my statements, this case is being treated as a homicide case.
Okay, folks.
Chief, how many shots were fired, if it's clear?
It's unclear right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.